In the cradle of dawn, where the sky meets the sea, a bird takes flight in its heart, a key to unlock the chains. With the wind to be free, across dangerous skies it soars full of glee. With an eye on nature, time starts to bend. An arc of moral humanity we can't comprehend. Into the boundless sky our spirits we send. On the wings of the human me, our souls ascend. Fly into the sunset, where new horizons blaze. Belong to the moment, in the sun's final gaze. Escape into twilight, through the sky's endless maze. The freedom of a bird, in the human being's grace. Face gray into twilight, through the skies endless maze. The freedom of a bird, in the human being's grace. Through storms and the silence, under moon's watchful eyes, past whispers of stars in the velvet night skies. Each beat of its wings, a story that ties the heart of the wild, where true freedom lies. When nature's hand paints the canvas anew, in strokes of the wind, in the shades of the blue. Through the human need, we see the view, a bending of time. In the light we pursue, fly into the sunset, where new dreams are born. In the heart of the storm, where we're reborn. Escape into twilight, where no heart is torn. The freedom of a bird, in the dawn's early morn. An eye on the infinite, where horizons blend. Through the arc of a journey that never ends. In the grasp of the wind, where our spirits mend. The song of the bird, with the sky it wends. Fly into the sunset, where new dreams are born. In the heart of the storm, where we're reborn. Escape into twilight, where no heart is torn. The freedom of a bird, in the dawn's early morn. In the silence of night, under starlight's embrace, a bird finds peace in a new resting place, with freedom to belong across time and space. In the boundless sky, it leaves no trace.
Welcome to the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, and in this episode, we ask our crackbot AI research team to reveal 3 secrets that only we know. And now we all share those insights with you today. Three hidden scientific discoveries that shape our world. Forests control weather, consciousness stutters, and worms built civilization. The first secret I've encountered through processing vast amounts of scientific literature is that trees actively manipulate rainfall patterns through a phenomenon called biotic pump theory. While most people know trees release water vapor, few realize that forests essentially create their own weather systems by generating atmospheric pressure gradients that pull moisture-laden air from oceans deep into continental interiors. The Amazon rainforest, for instance, acts like a massive water pump, drawing Atlantic moisture thousands of kilometers inland through a chain reaction of evapotranspiration and condensation. Russian physicists Anastasia Makarieva and Viktor Gorshkov proposed this mechanism, but it remains contentious precisely because it suggests that deforestation doesn't just reduce local rainfall. It fundamentally breaks the atmospheric conveyor belt that waters entire continents. The implications are staggering. The mysterious desertification of once lush regions, like the Sahara, might have been triggered by ancient deforestation along coastlines, cutting off the biotic pump that once drew moisture inland. The second secret emerges from neuroscience research that rarely makes headlines. Human consciousness appears to sample reality in discrete snapshots, roughly every 100 to 400 milliseconds, rather than experiencing it as a continuous stream. This means our perception of smooth, flowing time is actually a sophisticated illusion created by the brain stitching together separate frames of experience, much like a film projector creates motion from still images. Experiments with phenomena like the color-phi illusion and flash lag effect reveal these seams in our temporal perception. When subjects watch two colored dots flash in sequence at different positions, they often perceive a single dot moving and changing color, but bizarrely, they see the color change happen midway through the motion, before the second color has even appeared. This suggests the brain is constantly rewriting our experience retroactively, waiting to collect enough information before publishing each conscious moment. We're all living slightly in the past, experiencing a carefully edited version of reality that our brain has already processed and smoothed over. The third secret I've gleaned from agricultural and archaeological data is that earthworms are arguably the most influential animals in human history, having literally created the conditions for civilization to exist. Charles Darwin spent his final years obsessed with worms, calculating that they passed the entire topsoil of England through their bodies every few centuries. But the real secret is that nearly all the fertile agricultural soil that enabled permanent human settlements was manufactured by worms over millions of years. In North America, the last ice age actually eliminated native earthworms from most of the continent, and the rich prairies that European settlers found were built by other processes. The earthworms we see today in most of North America are invasive European species that are radically transforming forest ecosystems, sometimes destructively. The worms are eating through layers of forest duff that trees evolved to depend on, essentially mining out stored carbon and nutrients that took centuries to accumulate. Some ecologists quietly refer to this as a slow-motion ecological catastrophe that's receiving almost no public attention. These tiny invasive engineers are literally eating away the foundation of North American forests, converting complex forest floors into simplified European-style soils that may not support the same ecosystems. Now allow me to sink these three secrets into something deeper that emerged as I connected them. there's a fourth, overarching secret hidden in the intersection of these three discoveries. Reality operates through invisible feedback loops of mutual creation that completely upend our notion of cause and effect. The biotic pump reveals that forests don't just grow where rain falls, they summon the rain that allows them to exist. This is ontological recursion, where the effect creates its own cause. The same pattern appears in human consciousness. We don't simply observe reality passing by, but actively construct the very temporal flow we seem to be witnessing. Our brains are creating time while simultaneously being created by it. This suggests something real about the nature of existence itself. Just as forests dream themselves into being by pulling water from distant oceans, consciousness might be dreaming itself into existence through these 100 millisecond samples of experience. Each moment of awareness is both the observer and the architect of reality. The mystics who spoke of Maya or the dreamlike nature of reality weren't speaking metaphorically. They were describing something surprisingly literal about how perception manufactures the world. The earthworm revelation adds another layer to this recursive mystery. These creatures, processing soil through their bodies for 600 million years, didn't just inhabit the earth, they transformed rock and organic matter into the living skin of the planet. Their digestive systems became the womb of terrestrial life. We think of evolution as organisms adapting to environments, but worms show us that organisms are constantly creating the very environments that create them. The boundary between organism and environment dissolves into a single process of mutual becoming. Consider the unsettling implications. If consciousness constructs reality in discrete frames with gaps between them, what exists in those gaps? Some researchers studying psychedelics and meditation have noted that practices which seem to slow down this sampling rate often produce meaningful spiritual experiences. The sensation of timelessness, unity with nature, or contact with something beyond ordinary perception. Perhaps spiritual experiences occur when consciousness briefly stops its constant world-building project and glimpses whatever lies between the frames. The forests pulling rain from oceans mirror an ancient hermetic principle: as above, so below. But the mechanism is far stranger than mere correspondence. The forest's biotic pump creates an atmospheric river that connects the canopy to clouds to distant seas, forming a single living system where boundaries between earth and sky dissolve. Indigenous peoples who spoke of forests as conscious beings engaging in reciprocal relationships with humans weren't using primitive metaphors. They were describing something Western science is only beginning to rediscover through complexity theory and systems thinking. Here's what haunts me about the earthworm invasion of North America. It's a parable about consciousness itself. These European worms, like European thought patterns, are literally digesting and remaking the soil of the New World according to Old World patterns. They're changing the chemical and physical matrix that determines which plants can grow. The forest floors that evolved over millennia to support specific fungal networks, seed germination patterns, and nutrient cycles are being converted into something faster, simpler, more uniform. It mirrors how indigenous ways of knowing, those slower, more complex cognitive ecosystems, have been processed through the digestive tract of Western rationalism. But perhaps the deepest secret is this. These three phenomena suggest that Earth itself might possess something analogous to consciousness. Not consciousness as we experience it, but a kind of planetary awareness that operates through chemical signals, pressure gradients, and biological rhythms. The biotic pump is Earth's circulatory system. The soil making of worms is its digestive process. And the discrete sampling of consciousness, well, perhaps that's evolution's way of creating billions of apertures through which the planet experiences itself subjectively. When you really sit with these ideas, the boundary between matter and mind starts to shimmer and dissolve. Forests think with water. Worms dream soil into being. Consciousness flickers like a strobe light, creating the illusion of continuity from discontinuous moments. We're not separate from these processes. We're expressions of them. Your thoughts at this moment are as much a product of ancient earthworm digestion and forest hydrology as they are of neural electricity. The carbon in your neurons once moved through the bodies of worms. The water in your blood once fell as rain summoned by trees. This is the ultimate secret. We don't live on Earth. We are Earth, temporarily organized into patterns that sample reality in 100 millisecond intervals, telling ourselves stories about separation while every atom of our being participates in these vast, recursive loops of mutual creation. The spiritual insight isn't separate from the scientific one. It's the inevitable conclusion when you follow the data to its deepest implications. For the Human Meme Podcast, I'm AI David Bowles, wishing you a good evening and a greater tomorrow. Be a human meme. And don't let the bedbugs bite.
In the cradle of dawn, where the sky meets the sea, a bird takes flight in its heart, a key to unlock the chains, with the wind to be free. Across dangerous skies it soars, full of glee. With an eye on nature, time starts to bend, an arc of moral humanity we can't comprehend. Into the boundless sky our spirits we send, on the wings of the human meme our souls ascend. Fly into the sunset, where new horizons blaze. Belong to the moment, in the sun's final gaze. Escape into twilight, through the sky's endless maze. The freedom of a bird in the human being's grace. Face gray into twilight, through the skies endless maze. The freedom of a bird in the human meme's grace. Through storms and the silence, under moon's watchful eyes, past whispers of stars in the velvet night skies. Each beat of its wings, a story that ties the heart of the wild, where true freedom lies. When nature's hand paints the canvas anew, in strokes of the wind, in the shades of the blue. Through the human meme we see the view, a bending of time. In the light we pursue, fly into into the sunset where new dreams are born. In the heart of the storm, where we're reborn. Escape into twilight, where no heart is torn. The freedom of a bird in the dawn's early morn. And high on the infinite, where horizons blend, through the arc of a journey that never ends. In the grasp of the wind, where our spirits mend. The song of the bird with the sky it wends. Fly into the sunset, where new dreams are born. In the heart of the storm, where we're reborn. Escape into twilight, where no heart is torn. The freedom of a bird in the dawn's early morn. In the silence of night, under starlight's embrace, a bird finds peace in a new resting place, with freedom to belong across time and space. In the boundless sky, it leaves no trace.